There's audio. There we go. YouTube. There we go. My YouTube audio was on. That was not surprising. It happens all the time. All right, let me share this real quick. Nope. You're good. You're good. It was me as usual. I'm trying to dual stream again. See how this works out. Should be interesting. What's up, Nighthawk? Give people options again. All right, so I got a little playlist here of some videos that I planned on watching today while I was chillaxing, and I figured, why not? We can talk about them together. So whoever is here and shows up, either you'll be listening to me talk about it or you'll be joining in, whatever it is you want to do. Either way, I'm going to be watching videos, so. Let me see here. Let me do a volume check real quick, guys. You let me know if the volume is good. Oh, hold on. There's no volume playing.
The teams poured their heart into this game, and we...
There it is.
Heartland's a free-to-play survival action shooter set in the Division universe that features streamlined survival gameplay.
How's that
and
sound?
a
Is that
beautiful
good?
new world to explore, filled with dynamic PvEVP gameplay.
Or is that too loud? I can't tell. All right, let's see. So this is apparently the Division is releasing a new game. It's called Heartland, and it's supposed to be what looks like a extraction shooter, kind of like DMZ. And I've been playing a lot of DMZ lately, so I figured this might be kind of interesting. So I'm gonna check it out and see what it's about, because I'm curious.
Hey everyone, we're so excited to show you Heartland, an all-new standalone adventure in the Division universe. The teams poured their heart into this game, and we can't wait to share it with you. Welcome to Silver Creek. Heartland's a free-to-play survival action shooter set in the Division universe that features streamlined survival gameplay and a beautiful new world to explore, filled with dynamic PvEVP gameplay.
So it's gonna be a cross between PvP and PvE. You know what I noticed? Every game, 4 strip steaks for $88. That sounds kind of pricey. Or is that cheap? I don't know. I don't often buy steak, honestly, because it's usually generally too expensive for me, even when it's not crazy expensive. So I don't buy steak a whole lot. But yeah, whenever they call games survival games, the only requirement that seems to be nowadays is you get thirsty and hungry. So there you go. It's a survival game. That ain't even a T-bone. Yeah, that's crazy. That sounds crazy expensive.
In Heartland, you play as a Division agent, given the task of protecting Silver Creek, a small town in Middle America. It's your job to keep the town safe from enemy factions, rogue agents, and a deadly contamination. Heartland explores what happened to small-town America when the green poison was unleashed on the world. While major metropolitan centers got aid from agencies like SARA and the Division, what help did the Heartland get? This game ties directly into the timeline and introduces all new characters and storylines to the franchise.
Oh, okay. So they're expanding. We showed what happened in the big city, so now you get to see what happened to all the bumpkins on the on the outskirts who didn't get help from the division and all these other organizations. That's kind of an interesting perspective. Although I highly doubt this game is going to be like story driven at all. Like I'm pretty sure that's just like a backdrop. Because I'm pretty sure they said this game is free to play, and we all know what that means.
I'm Keith Evans, creative director in Heartland at Red Storm Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Taylor Epperly. I'm the Associate Game Director on Heartland. I'm really excited for folks to see what the world of The Division looks like in small-town America.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bland, community developer on Heartland.
Carrie
and I
Bland.
can't wait for our players
What a
to
name.
see all the hard work and dedication the team has put in. We've spent a year in closed tests building on the experience, responding to the feedback we received, and have evolved towards a truly unique and exciting take on survival PvEVP gameplay.
Heartland launches with a robot.
It looks fine. Like, you know, I don't know. It kind of just looks because, okay, the reason that this is kind of strange, the fact that this is coming out, is because this game, the Division already has like a extractor shooter mode on there. When you go into the Dark Zone or whatever it was called, that was basically like extraction gameplay, but it was like a separate kind of. It wasn't part of the. I mean, it was part of the full game, but it wasn't the actual game. It was like a side activity that you could do if you wanted to. And this just seems like they're taking that concept and just fully realizing it.
Robust experience for players on
I haven't seen anything woke yet. It doesn't seem like it's trying to be woke at all. I haven't seen anything about that yet.
day one. The player's first task is to help Mackenzie Reed get Silver Creek's base of operations back up and running. Players will be tasked with completing a set of missions and projects, all focused on the goals of exploring the town and gathering the supplies necessary to help prepare the base of operations. Every mission completed gives players the tools and strength necessary to survive.
I haven't played
Silver
the Division
Creek
in
is
a
a
long
hostile
time.
environment filled with deadly contamination, roaming enemy hordes, and the looming threat of sickness and dehydration. Players will have to be prepared if they hope to survive a full day in the town.
As day turns to night, Silver Creek is sent into high alert. The survival threat increases, and dangerous PvEVP from rogue players and AI is introduced. Night is a deadly sandbox filled.
So the way they just said that makes it sound like the PvP only activates at night. Is that what I'm understanding? Where it's like daytime, it's just like regular enemies and stuff, and at nighttime they kind of throw you into a server or whatever, and it's online, and or maybe I just misinterpreted that. That's the way they said it.
Filled with unexpected threats, but there is that constant carrot of great rewards.
As players progress, they unlock the ability to select one of 3 active classes. Every class brings something unique to the table, from the survivalist ability to highlight.
Y'all know I'm
and
going
walls
medic,
to the
'cause I
weapons
always do
expert
medic.
Ability to craft and deploy an assault turret. Combining these classes in a squad helps you overcome Silver Creek's toughest challenges.
Where one teammate might be falling behind, you really want to make sure that you're picking up that weight. Talking together and working as a true unit is the best way to make sure you're successful in Silver.
So you mean to tell me teamwork makes the dream work? That's insane. I don't believe that for a second.
Creek.
Heartland features a deadly and unpredictable contamination that makes every trip into Silver Creek unique.
To help you in your journey, you'll be able to fabricate supplies, prepare your go bag for each new day, making sure you can achieve even the toughest goals.
The contamination shapes the areas of the map that are easily accessible, and using a filter protects agents from the contamination, but the filter depletes pretty quickly inside the contamination.
So basically the radiation zones in DMZ. But instead of there being just one, there's several all throughout the map. Interesting.
Areas. So depending on how many filters you have on hand, you might decide to head into a contaminated area and get some loot that other folks passed up. There's also the ever-present threat of dehydration. Dehydration can slow you down, so you really have to keep an eye out for fresh, non-contaminated water when you're out in Silver Creek.
Try to
See, this is what I'm saying. This is the only metric that I've seen thus far that has given them to the right to call this a survival game. Everything is like, I swear to God, as long as you have to drink water or something, then it's like, no matter what genre the game is or whatever, it's automatically a survival game. You have to drink water, so it's a survival game. I feel like there needs to be a little more depth than that.
be as prepared as possible. You're gonna want to set yourself up for success out there. But if you do find yourself a little underprepared, hopefully you have a teammate that'll let you crawl inside their backpack. Who knows? Maybe they have juice boxes in there.
In Silver Creek, Shade Agents are using the Rocket Rink, an abandoned roller skating rink, as their base of operations. For the first time in the division, the entire base of operations is a shared space. You can socialize, form a group, customize your character, and prep for your next operation. Each session begins and ends in the base of operations, and you'll be talking to Carmelita, Kevin, and Mackenzie quite often.
Each time players exfiltrate back to their base of operations, they
What's
take
up,
the
Shrapnel?
materials and gear they've collected and store it in their personal armory to help them prepare for future days in the town.
Yeah. I wonder if this is it. Like, is this the whole game? Is it just gonna be basically an extraction shooter? Or is there more to it than this?
When you're going up against rogue agents, you kind of get into a bit of a cat or mouse situation. For me, I'm definitely more of a mouse. You don't have to worry about rogue agents if they can't see you.
There's a couple different strategies you can use against rogue players. I love using Heartland's class skills to set up ambushes, coordinating with my teammates to make sure we're repairing our armor as needed. And then when the shooting's done, I love looking through their loot and taking all the good stuff.
Heartland will be a living game. The stories we tell on day one are just the beginning. We can't wait for players to dive in and take this journey with us.
We're thrilled to take the next step as we enter our testing phase. Our community team will be looking at feedback shared across social channels and on our official forums while we evolve our game together with our community.
I'm wondering because when DMZ initially started off, there was like an overall positive vibe between players and DMZ. Like, you didn't get a lot of people griefing and stuff. Most people were pretty generally willing to work together with other players in order to get stuff done, unless they had a quest specifically stating that they need to kill another player. You didn't really have to worry about getting ganked by some fucking tryhard and DMZ. But that changed eventually. Like, once people started completing a lot of their quests and running out of stuff to do, then harassing other players was the only other thing that they could do at that point. So I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those games where you are basically incentivized to fuck other players up, or if you should just, if you're better off minding your damn business. Because I'm one of those mind your damn business kind of players. Like, I don't really like to mess with other players unless I have to. So we'll see.
Shaping the long-term Heartland experience. The team is committed to creating the best possible experience for our players, and the community is invaluable in helping make that happen.
I really think we've created something that the original survival players will recognize, while also innovating with open world operations, dynamic contamination.
The team here at Red Storm is proud and feel we're really onto something. Heartland feels fresh and distinct while still feeling at home alongside the other amazing games in this universe. Thank you for taking this journey with us. We can't wait to have you join us in Silver Creek.
Interesting. It looks fine. I mean, everybody's kind of jumping on this train now. This thing has become popular, so everybody has to do it. Just like Battle Royale was at some point. Now we have looter shooters. Not looter shooters, extraction shooters, sorry. But Division is kind of the perfect medium because, like I said, they already have an extraction shooter mode built into the original Division. This is just expanding on the idea, it seems. So your last video, I saw you in a kitchen. Are you going to culinary school or are you opening a restaurant? I am done with culinary school. I've already gone and got my certificate. I do plan on opening up something. Maybe not like a full-blown sit-down restaurant, but me and my wife are working on something. For right now, if you look down in the bottom right corner of the screen here, I am selling preseason, or not preseason. Well, I do have preseason flour mixes, but those are really niche. But I have like spice mixes that are multi-purpose that you can use for anything. And I'm selling those now to kind of try to supplement my business to figure out where I want to go next. Because starting up a mom and pop shop and stuff like that is just way too expensive and far too difficult right now. So, uh, I'm looking at food trucks and a bunch of different ideas too. So there's a couple options I have available to me, but trying to get in where I fit in. But like I said, because even food trucks are very expensive also. Um, and there's the issue of location and just a bunch of stuff you got to really deal with that too. So I'm working it out. I've been weighing my options and talking to people in the industry to see what they're doing and what worked for them and what would be best for me. I'd probably like to start with like a trailer that I can take around to places. Something not too small, but has a small enough like a kitchen built in that I could latch on to like my car or something and take it around with me to do stuff. That would probably be like the ideal starting point for me. So I could just show up somewhere, little events and stuff like that, festivals, fucking block parties, whatever. So that would be ideal. And then maybe have like a tent set up that I can get where I got this big kind of really colorful tent with my brand on it and stuff that I can set up at different places. Something like that would be nice. But yeah. Well, that's Heartland. Looks interesting enough.
It's everything you wished for. Your site traffic.
Apparently they got a beta coming up. I didn't see when it was, but I'm not crazy interested in that right now. Because I'm waiting for Diablo and new 7 Days to Die stuff, and there's stuff that's going to be keeping me busy for a while, so probably won't end up playing Heartland anyway. Skip that commercial. Alright, now we're going to check out some Diablo 4 stuff. See what's going on. They got new updates, new video from the Diablo 4 team. And I'm going to watch Asmongold watch it because his commentary is always interesting when it comes to this game.
Bro, I just think of that fucking video of those numbers, and it's like fucking 3 and like 1.
Oh my god. He already ragging on the fucking... He already talking shit about the druid, and the video ain't even started yet. Jeez. I heard they're fixing it. But I guess it's not that difficult to talk trash about the druid.
In the eternal conflict between the high heavens and the burning hells, Diablo 4 offers you more choice than ever before.
Yeah,
player choice is infused into everything, from how you look.
I think they should have more character customization options. I don't think there's enough, but it's just not going to change anytime soon.
I could probably agree with that. I thought there was a decent amount of customization. I mean, you don't really get the... I mean, well, you are in the cutscenes. This is one of those games where you can see your character in the cutscenes, so I guess it is a bit more important. A lot of people were complaining about variation between the characters, so, like, all the druids are big, stocky dudes and chicks, and people were saying, like, what if I don't want a big, stocky druid? I'm like, but they're druids, so... That's what they're gonna be. And they wanted like some big cocky buff ass necromancer. I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But in Diablo 3, you couldn't even customize your character at all, so there's also that.
Maybe they'll change it for the expansion.
The skills you use, the loot you equip, your path through the non-linear story to how and when you choose to explore the shared open world.
We want players to play their own way and have their own choice of how they're going to build their character.
Between all of our different systems, you can really create a custom character in ways that was not available in previous Diablo titles.
Is that true? I mean, I didn't really play much besides the beta, so I don't know. But, like, yeah, it seems good, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like during the beta, everybody kind of fell in line with whatever was the most popular or supposedly the most useful thing. But there did seem to be a bit of variation. Like, you could play each of the classes in various different ways. Like, for example, your whatever you would deem your primary attack to be. I saw people jumping between those quite a bit. Not everybody really had the exact same primary attack because they put on whatever was complementary to their build. So hopefully we don't get to a point to where everybody's doing the same shit and there's enough variation to where things could stay interesting. But there's always a meta, and all the fucking tryhards have to follow it. So.
When you log into Diablo 4, the first thing you're gonna have to do is create your character. And those familiar with Diablo are gonna be very familiar with the screen with all the classes sitting around the campfire.
In Diablo 4, we got 5 classes. The Barbarian is your fantasy of a fierce warrior fighter.
Barbarian
The
was
Barbarian
fun.
is the weapon master of Diablo 4, being able to pick up any weapon, jump into the fray, and do really badass stuff with it.
They're very
Okay.
strong, they're very physical. They can take different weapons for different situations and use them to their maximum effect.
The sorcerer is really your
Yeah, I'll also say that I think that the weapon swapping with Barbarian, it's something that you might not ever notice, but she just sound a bit like Emerald. It's something that, like, you might not notice, but it is perfectly seamless.
Yeah, because they integrated your actual attacks to be linked to specific weapons, which is kind of an interesting way. Like, I don't think I've ever seen any game do that. So, for example, like you can equip up to 4 different weapons. Well, technically 3, because your dual wield, it might as well just count as one weapon, because even though it's 2 separate weapons, you're still using them both at the same time. So whenever you press an ability that's specific to that weapon, it'll do that ability in its place, but they'll show the weapon that was assigned to it. So it's kind of this weird, I don't know. It feels like kind of a cheap that they're saying, like, oh, you can swap it to any weapon and use it based on the situation, because it's not really like that. It's not like, fucking Devil May Cry or something where you can switch to your sword and, use your guns and then switch to, or God of War like that. It's just different moves are assigned to different weapons, so it gives you the illusion that you're actually changing your weapons when kind of technically you're not, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely perfectly seamless. It's really good.
elemental mage. You have fire, ice, lightning. You can either focus on
I would love to be cooking right now. I need to find a good way to set up my cooking streams, because I want to start doing those more often. The only problem is, man, like, it's just not easy to set up for. But I found out that I can actually probably do streams from my Steam Deck, because the Steam Deck's basically just a computer too. So if I could figure out how to plug my mic into it, and hook that up, I could probably figure something out.
one, or you can kind of be a jack of all trades mage and use abilities from all 3.
They're a little more fragile than other classes, tend to be more ranged. The rogue, unlike the barbarian, they are a little bit more clever. They're very fast. They have the ability to imbue their weapons with different elemental energies, and they can modify them to do different things.
The rogue has 2 different types of play styles. You have the ranged crossbow type gameplay, or you have the in-your-face daggers, poison.
Yeah, I think that is so cool that you can play both of them.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Instead of them making 2 separate characters that are rogue-like, when one has a bow and the other has melee, you could pretty seamlessly swap between the 2. depending on, you know, what you have set up. Whatever your primary attack is basically determines if it's going to be melee or whatever, but you have a bunch of other abilities that can be ranged and stuff that are pretty useful. I guess it depends on what kind of player you are. But Rogue was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with Rogue. I thought the Mage was pretty strong and interesting, and Barbarian was fine, but it did have some the MMO boss mechanics in this game really were not friendly to the Barbarian at all.
You can lead the enemies into traps that have huge effects, more stealthy type gameplay. And the Druid is really this shit.
It's really the shit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's about right.
Leave the Druid
When you
alone.
cast certain skills, you change your form, what you look like, and what you can do. They can turn into werebears or werewolves. If I cast a werewolf skill, I turn into a werewolf and I do werewolf things. If I cast...
Hardy is twerking
Oh my god.
just to kill these little fucking mobs.
werewolves.
He loves
If I
making
cast a
fun of the
werewolf
Druid,
skill, I
man.
turn into a
It's-
werewolf and I do werewolf things. If I cast like Pulverize, for example, which is a werebear skill, I turn into a werebear, I slam the ground really hard.
To be fair, Pulverize does feel really good as a druid.
Yeah, Pulverize
Fits
was
the
a
fantasy,
good
it's
one.
pretty
A
cool.
good skill.
They can also become masters of nature magic with earth and storm magic. Last but not least, we got the Necromancer. They raise armies of the dead. They have different types
Necromancer
of minions. You've got
was
your skeletal
lit.
warriors, your
I had
skeletal
fun
mages,
playing
and then
Necro.
your golem.
You have
A lot of
blood
people said it was
Golem
OP.
is fucking useless and it sucks. Hopefully, whenever I level up more, I'll be able to play a golem or use a golem that's not a complete joke.
or bone magic that you can also take advantage of and tackle combat that way.
The bone magic stuff was pretty cool, like the way they implemented that. The Necromancer had a lot of kind of inner workings that made it interesting. There's a lot of different ways you can go. You can go full on minion build, you can go no minions at all, you can go Corpse Explosion, you can go Thorns. There was like a lot of variation. Blood Mist Corpse Explosion combo was gross. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I ended up not using it and switched to I ended up not using it and I ended up switching to a Thorns build that was pretty strong too.
That way. If you've played a previous Diablo game and you enjoyed a certain play style, you can actually bring that into Diablo 4, or just try something completely new.
No matter which class you play, there's going to be multiple different avenues and fantasies that you can chase.
So yeah, that bone prison attack where he like slammed the staff on the ground and it opened up, like it lifted up the bones or whatever around the enemy. That attack was pretty cool until I realized you can actually trap yourself in your own prison. And then it was not very cool anymore to me. I was just like, huh, I don't like that at all. All right, give me a moment, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta check on my little one real quick. Satsu has returned. Okay. I watched a great video talking about are gunners OP in MMO. Are gunners OP in MMOs? You got a link to it? Maybe I'll watch the video too and I'll give my opinions on the video as we go along. You got a wrench, so you should be able to share it. What's up, All You Need? What's up, Tyler?
Great.
You can customize your character in ways you've never been able to before, with near endless character creation and
Okay, man.
Near endless. Oh my god. Like, I know they're supposed to say stuff like this to like make you be like, oh no, you're endless. I mean, sure. If you account for every single tattoo, every single face type, every single whatever, and all the many combinations I guess you can do, then sure. But come on, bro. Where's all my time going? I don't know. What are you doing with it? My age just slapped me upside the head. I remembered your baby girl is almost 3. Yeah, she is a... No. No, no, no. No, you're incorrect. My daughter's almost 4. Yeah. She's about to be 4 this year, not 3. So I don't mean to make you feel worse about your situation, but there you go. Well, yeah, there's that too, Tyler. There's absolutely that too.
I know they wrote that on the script, but can you just be honest with us that there's better customization in Diablo Immortal?
I didn't play
That's
Immortal, so I
It's
don't know.
okay. It's not a big deal. But, like, let's just be real.
transmog options.
In previous Diablo games,
How about they just call it transmog?
you had to be attached to certain archetypes and look a certain way. And in Diablo 4, it's really up to you how you want.
That's not true at all. What the hell are you talking about? You have to look a certain way. There's no barbarian that looks like he's a fucking necromancer. Every barbarian is from fucking Mr. Olympia. Every necromancer is from under a bridge. Like, what do you mean? Every druid is from either a strongman competition or, you know, like a Golden Corral all-you-can-eat buffet, depending on how you want to look at it. And I like that. I think that's good.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Your character to look.
You'll be able to choose from different facial structures.
Personally, though, I genuinely really liked the way I was able to make my characters look in the game. I thought they looked pretty cool. Diablo 4 is a gorgeous game. And when you actually get a chance to get a close-up look at the character models, they look really good, so...
Structures from people all over the world.
But it is true that obviously there are more customization options than there was in Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was like, do you want to be a guy or a girl? Okay, you want to be a guy? All right, yeah, there. All right, so it's this guy. You want to be this guy? Okay,
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, it's improved a lot. But yeah, it's like there are no barbarians that look like this, okay? This is like fucking some sort of, what is this?
Oh god, here he comes with an
geez.
analogy
Let me
again.
think of a way to put this. My Chemical Romance 40-year reunion.
Oh god.
Marilyn Manson in 2023. Skrillex in 20 years. Come on, Transylvania Jesus. Yeah, there are
Transylvania
no
Jesus?
that look anything remotely close to this.
No matter where you are, you'll be able to say, hey, I can actually make someone that looks like me or looks like someone from my part of the world, which we're really proud of. You can
I just don't get it. I don't know why. I don't get it. Like, that sentiment, I never understood it. Oh, look, I can make characters that look like me. I don't know. It's just not a selling point for me. Like, it's like, okay, if you offer customizability, that's fine, but I don't somehow resonate with the character more because they're black also. Like, it's just, that seems like such a shallow and idiotic way to look at anything. It's like walking into a brand new neighborhood of people you've never seen before in your life, and they're black, and you're just like, oh, my fellow humans, we're all related, and we all know everything we need to know about each other because your skin's black too, so we're just automatically cool. It's kind of gross, actually. I can't stand that mindset.
You can pick a hairstyle for your character, and every class actually has a
I'm jealous of S-Fan. Like, S-Fan has an entire class dedicated to him.
Oh my
I
god.
feel like none of the characters in the game really kind of look like me. It's close, but it's not like 1-to-1.
Specific hairstyle that no other class can use. You can pick your eye color. We have some really fun ones. We have eye glowing. We have a bloodshot type eye. And then you can actually pick a marking, which is a tattoo or a design that covers your entire character. And there are dozens of those.
Transmog is the idea that you can take a piece of gear and change the appearance of it to look like a different piece of gear. As far as aesthetics, the sky's the limit. However you can think of making your...
You gotta have a way to zoom in more on the characters, man. Like, have it like, you know how you can Lost Ark, how like you can, you're like, there's like the up above, and then there's like the closer, and then there's the very close. They need the very close.
You know what? I'll extend kind of an olive branch to the narrative that this is somehow a selling point for games. If I am playing a game that has not taken the reins on the story, for example. So if I am playing a game where the character that you are creating is specifically supposed to be your in-game avatar, somebody that represents you as a character in the game because you are that character, as opposed to a already predestined story that the game has already crafted and there's no dialogue options, you don't get to pick anything, they got this whole thing laid out for you, then I can see how that kind of immersion can be helpful. Having an option of a character that looks like you could be helpful, because it's just like, yeah, this is supposed to be me in this game. You know, at least as me as it can be based on the limitations of the customization. But like, that I can understand, because I've made games, or I've played games, I should say, where options like that were available in a truly, this is supposed to be you experience. Like Final Fantasy XIV, for example, which I guess I can't really say is a good example, because anytime I play MMOs, I always play with a female character anyway, and that's already kind of breaking the mold of you have to play as somebody who represents you, so to speak. But she is dark-skinned. They had an option to make her dark-skinned, and I did. So, you know. Just saying people like me exist too. I mean, but for me, I guess for me, that's never been a sentiment that I ever had to confirm through a random video game I played. Because I know already that people exist like me. I can look around in the real world that I inhabit and see other human beings that look like me. There was never a moment where I was just like floating through life, oblivious to the people around me. And then I played a video game and I was like, oh, other Negroes are real? Holy shit. It's just stupid. It's such a, I'm like, how? How was that your realization? You feel validated now? It's so weird. Let me see. Oh. Too much customization options also leads to a gen who will make an about. That's true. I've seen your characters and they are all horrifying. Let me see here. I don't have an issue with customization. I have an issue with, hey, play this game. There's another Negro here for you to play with. Isn't that fun? Yeah, it's just pandering. It's a lot of pandering. And it's not always pandering. But in a lot of games, it can be. The simple act of having customization and a wide range of different faces and cultures isn't in itself pandering. It is when they use that as a selling point for the game that it feels like pandering. It's just like, just have that in the game as just a principled thing. It's just like, yeah, it's a game. A lot of people are going to be playing it, put it in the game. But when they're like, look at this, look what we did, guys. Yeah, isn't that cool? Then it's just like, all right. Okay.
Character, you can make it that way.
Everybody's going to look completely different in Diablo 4.
Oh yeah, I meant to watch this show. This is a what is it? Farming Life in Another World. But the one that I like, the one that I actually watched is I think it's called Campfire Cooking in Another World or something like that. And that one was really good. I haven't checked this one out yet though.
One of our pillars for class design Diablo 4 is this idea that we want players to play the way that they want to. When you first start the game, we introduce you to the idea of the skill tree. As you level up, you get access to these different skills or passives or upgrades to make your character more powerful.
Each category has a few different skills that are all similar. They're either all defensive or all offensive, all ice or all fire. You can either focus on a very specific section or you can pick and
Just
choose.
look it up on the internet and see which one's the best and just go with that. It's like a balding middle-aged man on the internet told me to go with Shockwave, so we just go with.
That's true. But that's how metas end up happening, though, is like, you go on YouTube, everybody finds out which video has the most views, and then they're like, oh, this is the best build, and then everybody does that thing. And then the gameplay becomes stale because everybody's all doing the same thing. But I don't really, I mean, I've looked up builds before, but only for inspiration, where I'm just like, what are the limitations here? How far can you actually take this? And I've crafted builds based off of those concepts, but I don't really like when games like for example Tekken, like something like a fighting game like Tekken. If somebody had established or decided this character is the best character and there's like 48 characters to pick from, and you go online to play or whatever, and every fucking person is playing with the same person, then it's just boring. It's just kind of lame.
With Shockwave.
The first skill point when you unlock a new skill is going to give you access to that skill. After that, you can put additional points into any skill that you have, and it's going to make it better, whether it increases the radius or adds some new effect or reduces the cooldown through some special way.
You can actually branch out in a very different direction, even if two characters actually started at the same place. The Paragon board is
I did see quite a bit of that. Like people and like the skill system in this game is not crazy robust. Like it's not a massive amount of change, but I did see people kind of branch out quite a bit, mixing it up. This is what we didn't get to see though. This is we didn't get to mess around with like Paragon boards and stuff at all because obviously it was just a beta. You only can get to level 25, I think it was. And even in the new beta that's coming up, you only can get to level 20. So we're not going to be able to mess with Paragon boards until the game comes out. But apparently there's a ton of like different skills and different attributes and stuff you can add to them. If you watch Campfire Cooking, you probably gain 20 pounds. That show is made to make you hungry. Oh, I actually just uploaded a video of a dish that I made inspired by Campfire Cooking. I think, didn't I? It was like the ginger marinated pork or whatever that he made, one of the first dishes he made. But I didn't do ginger because Squishy's allergic to ginger, or at least that's what she tells me. And I'm not willing to experiment to find out if she's telling the truth or not. But I did garlic instead. I made like a garlic soy sauce marinade and had some cabbage. But I didn't just cut up plain raw cabbage. I turned it into like a slaw. So it was like a cabbage, carrots, and mayo, and a little bit of rice wine vinegar to make like a slaw. It was, oh my god, that shit was amazing. Let me see if I uploaded that. Did I upload that on my Fam 2 Cents channel? I thought I did, but I could be wrong. I often am exactly that. Wrong. Quite often. Your channel. Oh, that's my... Oh no, I haven't uploaded that. It's on my Instagram. That's right. It's on my Instagram and on my TikTok. I have to put it up on YouTube later on. I'll do it after the stream. Make your daughter an orphan in the name of science. What? I don't really know. Sorry, bro, can't find it. Any rate, got chores to do. But hey, give your fam some love. Oh, indeed. Check on a friend today? I'll do that. Oh, testing the ginger? Oh shit. Yeah, no. No, I don't think I'll be doing that.
Late game system that once you've completely filled out your skill tree, you think you have a build, it will really let you delve into the theory crafting and the depth of Diablo 4's skill system.
And these boards, they can move through them spending their Paragon points, and they have nodes that give them very basic stats like intellect or dexterity. We also have more powerful nodes.
I really get like a Final Fantasy 12 vibe from this. Because Final Fantasy 12's what was the boards called? They were kind of overwhelming, man. I'm just like, oh my god, look at all this shit. There's so many skills. A ton of stuff.
We have rare nodes that have different effects where they can totally modify a skill to do something additional or different, or they can even make new connections between skills so that
we've played. I just got done playing this game.
Players can have new ways to play their character.
Yeah.
Legendary nodes are equivalent to legendary powers, where they have more powerful effects that can change the builds in ways that...
Hold up. What was this say? Eldritch Bounty, when you attack with an imbued skill, you gain 20% resistance and 20% damage.
So you can get
that's really good.
So you can get like legendary kind of skills from the nodes on the boards. It's not just like attributes and stuff. That's kind of cool. I wonder if any of those legendary skills overlap with legendary drops. I would imagine so, right? That'd be interesting.
Builds in ways that characters...
Cheap shot, you deal increased damage for each enemy that is crowd controlled up to 25%.
That's pretty cool.
That if you can use that as a barbarian, I'm pretty sure this is rogue, but
Substatsu, I made pizza with my own 2 hands. Typed in my credit. Oh my god. I almost got excited for you for a moment because the first time I made a pizza fully from scratch, I was like super happy. I was so proud of myself because I was like, it just came out so good. And I was like, damn, dude, we've been wasting money all this time. I think it cost me like $2-3 to make that entire pizza like fully loaded. But you order a pizza from like Domino's or some shit, it's like fucking $15. It's crazy, dude. It's fun. It's really easy. Like, well, I gotta be careful saying stuff like that now because, you know, I always give other people shit for saying it. Like, oh, it's so easy. You know, you gotta be careful with that stuff because just because something's easy for you doesn't mean it's easy for everyone. But I thought that making dough, like your own dough and stuff, would be a very difficult process, but it can be easy if you take the time to really understand it. But today is not the day. Give it a shot one day. You never know. One thing that's really easy, before you start trying to make like a pizza, just like a pizza from scratch, you should start with like flatbread pizzas. Those are even more easy to make. Generally speaking, if you're doing like a flatbread, typically you don't even have to let it like proof for too long either. You can do like a 15-20 minute proof, and that'll be good enough for the flatbread. So flatbread pizzas are fun to make, and they're delicious. All right. Oh, what happened to my volume? Where'd my volume go? There it is.
Play.
You can start planning this long journey of, okay, I want to hit this node, and then I want to hit this node. I'm going to apply this board, and I'm going to start from this side, and really just get into a super complex, very specific build for your character.
I feel like nobody's going to want to do that if they get locked into a decision that's hard to undo.
It really doesn't.
Like, that sounds like, you know, it's like, you know, they're talking with their hands and shit, right? But, like, let's get down to what happens whenever you play the game. Like, nobody wants to go and play the game and pick a bunch of bad talents and have to spend a long time farming to like, undo it.
That's true. Like, if these Paragon boards look crazy extensive, and if they're that in-depth, and you're going through that many slots or whatever, it's going to be a real pain in the ass to, like, be able to... like, you're going to want to, like, go back if you didn't, like, pick anything correctly, or if you feel like whatever you chose was not the path you wanted to go on. Like, if they make it too difficult to reverse some of that stuff, then people aren't going to want to deal with it. We'll have to see.
Like, let's be real. Like, fuck
I know
that,
I'm not going to
everyone's
want to
gonna
deal with
look up the options. So, you know, they should reduce the respec cost, get rid of it, something like that. I think that'd be a good idea.
Legendary items are really rare and powerful items that you're going to find as you adventure through the world of Sanctuary. We have quite a few different categories of legendaries and how they do that. Some of them will actually change your skill or enhance it in some way.
Frozen Orb, for example,
man
it
just
might
punched
say,
a ghost.
hey, every single time you use your Frozen Orb, it applies a new effect. And then I can actually take advantage of that new effect that it has, even if the item itself is maybe not as...
I will say that the legendary synergies that I experienced on the beta were very interesting and fun.
Yes, I agree. I had a lot of fun with the builds. I got every character up to 25, and unfortunately, some characters I didn't really get to get as many legendary prefixes or affixes that I wanted to get. But I did get to mess around with a bunch of stuff, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I actually uploaded a video about it, and that video almost got like 10,000 views. I uploaded a Diablo 4 video the other day. I mean, well, not the other day, but a couple weeks ago on a whim. I was just like, you know, I'm having fun with this. I have a channel. Let's tell everybody what I think about this. And, oh my God. It got, like, crazy views. And I didn't do anything crazy. Like, I didn't even freaking, like, put, like, crazy in-depth tags and do all the SEO stuff like that I normally do. I just made a nice thumbnail. I worked a bit on the thumbnail and put that video up. It got almost a ton of views. Sup, you unbaked potato. How do you know I'm unbaked? I could be baked. Just because I ain't got no wrinkles? Don't judge a potato by its skin. I've always thought games should let you switch XP in classes for an XP cost, almost like a processing fee. Well, I don't mind like a gold cost, like, you know, I don't mind it costing something. It just shouldn't be like, if you want to respec, it's gonna cost you like 15 million gold, but it takes you like, you know, 4 hours to farm 15 million gold. Like, something like that is just like ridiculous. It should cost something, sure, but I don't think that, you know, you should have to, like, sell your kidney to do it. And I definitely don't think it should be behind a paywall.
There were some of them that were just like, when you do this, they do this. But a lot of them were actually pretty good. I liked it.
Good as the one you have, you can still extract that power from it, take advantage of it, and use it for your build.
I like this system. The fact that you can pull legendary skills off of the item and just put it on other items. That was very nice. I really, really, really like that. And I'm pretty sure you could do it in Diablo 3 too, but it was like the process, if I remember, was way more complicated than the way that they have it set up on here.
One thing that our players can look forward to is that a lot of our classic, really rare, and most powerful items from previous titles are going to be returning as uniques in Diablo 4.
Unique win for I remember that from Diablo 3. Let me see this real quick.
Go away, commercials.
Let's see, 610 power, it's level 100 character. I guess it doesn't really matter. Core skill damage, that's a lot. Damage to distant enemies. Impetus passive. Resistance to deal double damage. Knock back to target. Alright, that's about what I'd expect. Sure, got it.
Before.
Unique items are very similar to legendaries, but they're unique, which means if that ability is actually on a chest piece, it's always going to be on that chest piece because it's more powerful than a regular legendary effect.
So they're unique uniques.
Is a big part of Diablo 4. We have all kinds of different ways that you could upgrade and interact with NPCs to make your gear better. You can increase the item level or power of your gear, so you can actually get a piece of gear and just make it stronger. You can also add sockets to your or power of your gear, so you can.
You gain 24% lucky hit chance against crowd control. That's fucking crazy. What the fuck? Wow.
24% chance. Damn, that is kind of high.
can actually get a piece of gear and just make it stronger. You can also add sockets to your gear so that you can put gems inside of it.
I think they nerfed the gold cost, by the way. Look at this. This is a 3 to 4. Bro, it's a 3 to 4 and it's only 18K.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Look at that. Like, that's a lot.
I'll take it.
Because I remember, like, I would drop 200K to get an upgrade. I paid way more? Yeah.
Just make it stronger. You can also add sockets to your gear so that you can put gems inside of it.
There are a lot of different ways that players will be able to customize their experience in Diablo 4. Every single player is going to have a different experience and a different build at the end of the day.
Because we have all of these different ways to make your own character, there's a lot more possibility compared to previous titles of how you want to play, how you want to build your character. We really are doubling down on this idea that you can look the way you want, you can play the way you want, you can really make your own fantasy in this game.
I'm down with that. Look, more freedom is always good. More options is always good. And I generally feel that way about most games. I know there's like a huge debate about adding an easy mode to certain games. And there are some hills that I'll die on where it's like Dark Souls and Souls games. They don't need an easy mode. They don't. Because it wouldn't work with the ecosystem of the game. But if basically any other game, like, you know, the new Resident Evil remake or like anything else, like any other mainstream AAA game, it doesn't matter if they have an easy option. Like, it doesn't matter if they have what people are calling now story mode, where it's just like the game is completely trivial. Nothing bad will ever happen to you. You'll hardly ever be threatened at all. You can just enjoy the story. Some people see that and they're like, "Oh, gross, not in my game." And I'm like, why not? What if people just want to play for the story? Like, why can they not have that option? Why do you exclusively get to have the option to play how you want to play, but nobody else deserves that either? You know, it's just, I don't feel like it's an issue. Yeah, I don't know if every game should break their neck to do it, and if a game doesn't have it, I don't think it's a bad game because of it. But if they do, if they take the time to give everybody a chance to play how they want to play, then fucking let them play how they want to play. Like, just the people were talking about that with Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 has like these I think these equips that you can put on. They're basically scrub equips. Like, if you suck at dodging, or if you're not good at you know, counter mechanics, you can put on a ring that literally dodges all attacks for you. And everybody's like, "Oh, but it's gonna be so easy." And I'm like, okay, for the person who's playing, and they're gonna be having a good time doing it. Yeah, but it's gonna make the game easy. Not for you, unless you equip it. Are you gonna equip it? No? Then shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I can't enjoy this game unless everyone else plays it the same way that I do. It's like, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Hell welcomes all, and so does Diablo 4. In the coming weeks, we'll be sharing even more about how to play your way. Now, our launch on June 6th is getting weeks. We'll be sharing.
Bro, it's so fucking sad.
Oh my god,
See,
stop
like,
making fun of the druid.
Cleaving through mobs, to see the sorcerer just like electrocuting big piles of mobs.
My god, dude.
Druid finally gets up to the top. He's like, "Give me a minute." all right, let's go. 3, 2, 3.
Oh my god, it's not that bad. The druid sucked. Look, I played the druid up to level 25 in the beta, and it was a miserable experience. I'm not gonna pretend like the druid was any fun, really. It just kind of wasn't. And I forced myself to level it up because I wanted to be able to speak on it without, you know, being one of those people who like, "Yeah, druid sucks." And it's like, "Did you play it?" And they're like, "No." It's like, okay, well, how the fuck do you know? But I played it, and yeah, I'm like, yeah, this sucks. This is not fun at all. I hope they make it better. And supposedly they did, so we'll see.
Even more about how to play your way. Now, our launch on June 6th is getting closer. Closer still if you got early access. And we can't wait to see you in Sanctuary. Hail Lilith, Blessed Mother.
Roar!
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this is about what I'd expect, sure. I mean,
I'm excited, man. I don't think I've been this excited for a game for a really long time. But I really, 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 really want to play Diablo 4. Like, we just got finished with speaking of which, we did just beat Dying Light 2. Not Dying Light. God damn it. Why do I keep doing that? We just beat Dead Island 2. And I transferred all the VODs over to YouTube, so those will be going up soon. And I'll be putting out little short clips of just like funny moments and stuff. Yeah, Dead Island. I keep saying Dying Light, man. Yeah, I was talking to somebody about Dead Island earlier, and I typed it out. I was thinking Dead Island, but I specifically typed Dying Light and saw it, proofread it, and sent it anyway. And then the dude's like, "Oh, you're just now playing Dying Light?" And I'm like, "No, I meant Dead Island." Oh God, the struggle. The struggle is real. Oh my God, Squishy bought me some of this soap for she bought me some Dr. Squatch soap for Valentine's Day, I think it was. This shit is actually really great. Like, I genuinely don't like using like bottled liquid soap anymore because this shit's so good. I've never felt so fucking clean.
Welcome, my friends, to the second video in the Alpha.
Okay, so now we're talking about Alpha 21 stuff and probably some Alpha 22. It's just like wait, what is the soap? It's just like body soap. You can buy bars. It's called Dr. Squatch or whatever. And it's good. They come in like different grit levels and shit. You can get like smooth where it's like there's no grit at all. So, or you can get like higher grit ones that like help you exfoliate and shit. Like, I'm not really like into the whole beauty aspect of it. Like, they're like, oh, look at all the beauty benefits. It just, I feel clean when I use it. Like, it feels nice on like when I'm done. And then it's also too, like, if you ever use like the little spongy things to clean yourself with, like you put the soap on the spongy thing and like it's got a bunch of soap in it, and after you're done you got to rinse it off like 10 times to get all the bubbles and shit out. No, you just rinse it once because it's real soap. Like, it's real actual soap, like without all the chemicals and the bullshit. And I don't know, I just like it. They're not sponsoring me at all. It was a random commercial that just showed up out of nowhere, and I happened to use it, and I really enjoy it. So, there you go. You can buy it on Amazon, too. You don't have to go to their website. If you say, if it's like what you say, then I want it. It is. It's great. I really like using it, and it comes, like, there's like 1,000 different fucking scents and different stuff. It's like Sasquatch. That's what it is. Dr. Squatch. That's what it's called. Well, the funny thing is, it's marketed almost exclusively to men. Like, the way they market it, it's basically almost exclusively marketed to men. But my wife uses it a lot too, so she had to buy me more because she basically used up all of my soap. She's like, but it's so nice. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I thought you bought it for me, but now you're using it too. Oh, jeez. Did the stream? No, the stream's still up. What happened? No, we're fine. I don't think anything happened there.
The 21 developer live stream.
Oh, okay. So now we're gonna talk about Alpha 21 stuff. You guys saw me and Monkey. We watched the live stream, and we were looking at the first live stream they did for Alpha 21. I did not watch the second one. I did not watch the second live stream because I wasn't available to watch it at the time. So now we're gonna watch a recap of somebody who did watch it and who can go through this stuff much quicker than it'll be if I watched it myself. So let's do a recap here and talk about Alpha 21 stuff.
22 art and even art for gold release of the game, which will hopefully be after Alpha 22. So stick around to the end of the video for all of that. As of right now, the projected release
for
Alpha 21 is around.
Is that a character model? Look at her.
So there's a lot to cover here.
She do not look ready for the zombie apocalypse.
You can see all of the topics we'll be going over.
Can you imagine a zombie seeing this chick and he's just like, "Oh, this bitch want me to eat her." You are way too exposed, lady. Zombie bites, infection.
Over in order right here, and there will be timestamps below if you need them. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave it a like, and if I end up earning your subscription, then welcome aboard. So let's begin. So the first thing I want to call your attention to are these concept images for the new trader compounds. Now, in the first developer livestream,
The new trader compounds look cool as shit, dude. Like Jen, I saw a concept art of Jen's before this, just like pictures of it, and apparently she's in a church now, and her whole base is like like a medical military kind of base where, you know, there's like just a lot of medical tents and stuff, and it's kind of cool the way they're giving all these they're giving all the merchants just like their very exclusive individual bases that really kind of showcase who they are and what they're about.
we got a walkthrough of Trader Bob's and Trader Rex's compound, so we got basically first-hand experience looking at that, and we've also received concept art for Trader Bob's in the past, but now we have concept art for Trader Jen's, a little bit of a walkthrough of Trader Jen's, and also concept art for Trader Joel's. There's also some teasers a little bit later on for some of the art that's going into Trader Hugh's. I know, things are a little bit disorganized. We'll get to everything in due time. I tried to organize it as fluidly as possible for you. So a good segue from Trader Compounds is a look at these, what they're calling kits. Now, these are the new tents. We've seen these in the military compounds, and there's also these yellow sort of hazmat tents. These are actually
cool.
outside in Trader Jen's compound. In this first image here, you can see a playground in the background. Trader Jen's new compound is in a church, and it looks to be the same church that we see in the game right now. I believe it's church number 3. So basically these kits come in pieces, which you can see here. They are not player craftable or purchasable, but they will be available to POI makers and most likely through mods or console commands. They also showed off a few more kits. These here are wooden platforms, and it appears that some of the trader compounds utilize these, and they did also say that there are POIs out there that will use.
Ooh, you know what I just thought of too that I didn't think of before? With this new setup, they're adding a whole bunch of new like building concepts and parts and pieces and stuff. I could probably update the RPD that I made and make it look a little more authentic with some of this new stuff. That'll be cool.
Utilize these as well. Here is like a wooden palisade wall that is surrounding Trader Joel's, and there was some emphasis on these being dynamic in that you can see in the middle portion here.
I like those. Those look really awesome.
These are stacked 3 tall, so you can stack them infinitely tall, and there will be like a seamless border, and then the top one will have the spikes on it. And here's a look at the gate here. Again, an emphasis is being placed on environmental storytelling, and so you can see there's some wording and some hash marks that are ticked onto the door there for kills or something like that. And you can also see a new Trader Joel sign. We'll get to that again a little bit later on. There's actually a whole bunch of new signs. Everybody gets a new sign in Alpha 21. And here's a brief look at those signs.
Oh shit!
I'm not sure which one.
You got it. Trader Joel's, Bob's Salvage, Jen's Clinic. Wait, Jen's got 2 signs. She's got like a more adult themed one and then kind of a kids one. Are we getting zombie kids?
One actually belongs to Trader Jen. The reason I called your attention to the slide in the background of Trader Jen's compound before is because there's this sort of childish kind of daycare-ish Jen's Clinic sign here, but then there's like a more medical sign right here. And here's a sort of different image of the new signs. Trader Joel up in the top left, Hugh's sign in the top right, Bob's top middle, and front and center here is the Duke's Grand Hotel sign. Now, we'll get to this more at the end of the video, but the Duke of Navasgain is the head of some casino and is sort of a leader or boss type of figure in the...
Man, whenever we do get story for this game, I have no fucking idea what it's gonna be like. I couldn't imagine. I've been playing this game for so long that the concept of like following some sort of narrative, it's baffling to me. Like just thinking about it, I'm like, how would that even work? I can't even comprehend it really. Just trying to like wrap my mind around how that would even play out.
post-apocalyptic Navasgain landscape, and he will be one of the centerpieces of the main storyline when we get that in gold. Now I want to call your attention here, there is this little arrow marker that says coming in Alpha 22 Plus, which to me means gold. That I highly doubt that they will move the timeline up on anything. If anything, timelines get moved back. So if it says 22 Plus, I'm counting on Alpha 23 if that even becomes a thing, or gold. Okay, the next section is what I'm calling interactive objects. These will be things like workbenches and forges. Now, we did get images on Twitter several weeks ago for the new workbench, a destroyed version on the right, working version on the left. Here's a picture of the new forge. There was a good question in the last live
Oh, there's a distinctive variation between a destroyed one and a not destroyed one. So you can tell just by looking at it if it is or not. So you don't have to go and check every one. That's cool. That's cool. So like when you walk into a base and they have one, you can visibly see that it's broken. That's cool.
Images on Twitter several weeks ago for the new workbench, a destroyed version on the right, working version on the left. Here's a picture of the new forge. There was a good question in the last live stream. Will these tools, such as the crucible, the bellows, and the anvil, be visible whether they're in the workstation or not, as well as tools for the workbench eventually? And the answer is, for the forge in Alpha 21, yes. For the forge and the workbench, maybe. But we're going to get the forge in Alpha 21, and possibly beyond that, we might get the other workstations as well. The chemistry station is said to be being worked on for Alpha 22, will not be available for 20.
Campfire, huh? So yeah, so like the actual thing, it won't have the bellows or the anvil unless you actually attach it to it. That's cool. Can you still loot the broken ones though? I'm assuming you can. Sometimes you got lucky and found some good stuff.
And so I thought this was kind of interesting. There was just like some pictures of real world objects, and then there was a concept art design, and then there was the actual model that we're going to see in the game. And here's the nice fancy version. You can see broken versions of both workstations, working versions. On the front and bottom, you can see new writable crates, again, coming to Alpha 22 Plus.
Oh, that's cool. Look at the new crates.
Determined when we're actually going to get those.
That's awesome. I like that. Oh, there's the broken forge too up there. I didn't realize that at first. And then what's in the middle, I'm assuming, is a player terminal. That looks like some Fallout shit, dude. That player terminal looks like straight up Fallout.
And the back center, you can see that open sign. That is a player vending machine. And speaking of vending machines, here's a look at the new vending machine. It's been upgraded so that you can see all of its contents. There are several different versions, from empty to broken to full and working. Here's a look at all of the new snacks that are inside. Now, if you zoom into this really
I like the
closely,
new vending machines.
Labels. There's like health data, like calories and carbohydrate content and stuff like that on the back of these. It's pretty detailed. And so much more importantly for us, the players, is the candy overhaul. So they've updated all the graphics so that they have much cooler designs. And even though we won't be able to see it up close like this, it'll look more like this over here. So you can see
that's
the
cool.
vending machines kind of in action in the game with proper lighting. Now, if you see these models that have blue jeans and white t-shirt, these are just the sleeper volume representative.
All right, give me a second, guys. I'll be back again. Un momento. All right. Back in action, baby. I'm excited for Alpha 21, man. I'm actually really pumped for it.
Of zombies, it's just like a dummy, right? Like a crash test dummy. It's not a real zombie. Don't worry. Zombies are not going to look like this. And here's a look at the vending machine, and it's sort of like kind of not in direct light, and you can see the reflection off of the wall of this AK-47 poster. We'll get a closer look at that a little bit later, but just cool to see the reflection on the side there. Okay, on to the next section here. Now, we saw a whole bunch of doors in the first live stream, and we actually got to go into first-person mode and see all the doors that were in this little arena here.
Yes, millions of new doors, guys. We got 1 billion new doors.
Did some rough counting, and I came up with roughly 500 doors sitting on this
See,
map right
like
here.
I said, 1 billion.
They're mostly just like color variations, right? And some of them are like single door and double door. Yes, we are getting double doors. The most important thing here, as we're kind of scrolling through this, is that these doors will now be like, you can damage them, and it's going to open up a hole in the door, and then you can actually, there's no hitbox there anymore. So when you see an opening in a door, whether it's like a broken window or the doors being like ripped apart, you'll be able to hit zombies through it, throw grenades through it, shoot arrows through it, you name it. And so there's these fancy new closet
That's
doors.
a really
There's
good
new doors for the
change,
traders.
of course.
These
We
doors are
talked
not
about
exclusive
that
to
one
traders. These are
before.
also used in POIs, but it does show them being damaged at the traders, even though it will have trader protections in the game. There's sliding glass doors, there's like screen doors, there's supermarket doors, there's even these cool roll-up like gate doors that you would see at like a mall. And speaking of mall, have a listen to this.
You probably see at shops and stores at the mall. Can I give you hints of possibilities for new POIs?
Now, if that's not confirmation of what will probably be a tier 6 mall POI coming up, yes.
Oh, that'll be cool. That's one thing that I have. Oh, you know what, man? That is one thing I have not seen in 7 Days to Die. Like a big internal mall. Like an actual mall with like storefronts and shit. Somebody should build one. Somebody should build a mall in 7 Days to Die. And by somebody, I mean definitely not I. I'm totally not getting an idea that that would be a fun project to work on. Nope, not at all. No thoughts about that for me.
You heard it right, tier 6. They confirmed tier 6 POIs are coming, and that was in the first developer live stream. So my prediction is going to be we'll see a tier 6 shopping mall. Now, the last couple things here, elevator door, and then real quickly, we're going to see the new hatch. It looks basically the same to me, just a little bit of different coloration, I think. And these new vault doors, I'm so glad we actually got an up-close view of this, because I could see them off in the distance during the first live stream, but now we get to see them up front and center, and man, they look pretty cool. I like this a lot. Okay, real quick.
Yeah, that actually looks really good. The other vault doors were a bit extra. They had a bunch of added crap on them that made them like weird, but I think those look cool. It's a bit more of a simplistic design, but I think it makes sense. They don't exactly have Walmarts in 7 Days to Die. Yeah, they do. What are you talking about? I've been in several Walmarts in 7 Days to Die.
Pass through the vehicles. We've seen these 100 times. These were some of the first images that we got of Alpha 20 like months and months and probably like over a year ago at this point. So we've got new trucks, vans, minivans, police car. We got crushed versions. We have fire trucks, semi truck. We have these
shit,
which are actually pretty new with the Caterpillars. We've got a bulldozer. We got tractors, forklift, and basically, long story short, these are props. These are for you to hide behind or salvage. And
yeah, no, they can't. They wouldn't, because that's why their spam is called sham.
Not for you to ride on. These are not ever going to be player vehicles unless you get it through a mod. One last thing that I originally missed in the first live stream is that when Lathan turned toward this cop car, it was locked, and Rick immediately told him to back away from the vehicle because there was something there that they didn't quite want to reveal yet, and there are some predictions that it could be an alarm that will sound when you try to unlock the vehicle and therefore bring in a whole bunch of zombies from the surrounding area, or there could be some other hidden mechanics related to these locked police vehicles as well. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the spicy stuff, and I really do mean spicy, so stick around and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is going to be one of the main features, probably with bandits that come out in Alpha 22. It's kind of sounding more and more like bandits will be pushed to gold, just by the wording that some of the developers used. I think Alpha 22 is going to be like,
look at these character
anyway,
models, man.
This is the picture we were shown on Twitter ages ago with a proper anatomy, good lighting, muscle tone. This is a picture of the person walking, and you can see some of the physics with
that boy like
the
swiggity swooty
thing that he's wearing. And during the live stream, they gave us these new images, so we can see the black character here. There were a couple of other images shown with just really realistic looking faces with proper proportions, and the hair looks good, and the facial hair looks good, and there seems to be a good amount of variety with what you can choose. I'm not sure yet. They didn't reveal any sort of like character customization stuff. I don't know if these are just pre-made faces that you choose or not. You can also see a Caucasian character over here. Very exciting to see all that, and that's a good segue into the new character armor, which also appears to be coming in Alpha 22 or 22 Plus, you know, going into Gold or possible Alpha 23. So let me take you back for a trip down memory lane. So originally,
didn't they say we were supposed to get armor stuff in 20? Oh, of course. You know they would. They were talking about armor, like we got showed these full sets for Alpha 20, and I thought they were supposed to be coming for Alpha 20 back when we initially saw them, but now they're almost completely different.
Back for Alpha 20, they released some concept art for new character armor. And so I'm just scrolling through a couple of these here. I'm not saying that these are coming. I'm saying that this is what they showed us a long time ago. This is the work of Joel. Joel came up with these sort of new character outfits, and they would be 4 pieces, and you'd get a bonus for having the full set. And they're very thematic. So like each one was, there was like a mining one, there was like a nerd outfit, there was like a wasteland outfit. And then over the past several months or year or so, they've released a few pictures on Twitter. So the first one here is the Raider armor. The second one here is military armor. They call this actually commando armor. And it's just, at first we all thought that this was a replacement for the military armor. And then they also released this image.
That looks pretty good, man.
Armor.
That looks kind of
This
silly.
may not actually be a replacement for the predecessors, because in this live stream they started releasing a whole bunch of new armor, and they revealed first the Wasteland Assassin armor.
That shit
which
looks sweet.
I can't deny looks really freaking cool.
That
And
looks
they did
really
talk about
cool.
Bonuses, and so basically they've revived this. We haven't heard like anything about character armor for ages. They're just like dropping bombs in this live stream that it's back. It's going to be like a 4 or 5 piece set. It's going to give you special bonuses, and it will give you a set bonus as well. So basically, it's confirmed that we're going back to the character sets that we saw earlier. It just, they might be different sets. They're probably going to look a little bit better. Again, those were just concept arts back then. So let's check out the next one. They're calling this one the Hoarder model, which looks goofy as hell.
Well,
Like,
we know which
actually,
one I'm
it's the
probably
second
gonna have
theme
on.
that I think that they're going for. So I do like it. I don't think I would like wearing it because I'm more of like the commando armor kind of guy myself. But again, they talked about bonuses being applied to this character. They also interestingly talked about noise being a problem with this character, and perhaps, you know, you're attracting a lot of zombies because you have all this like stuff jingling around on your backpack. They did talk about all of these armor sets having their own animations. So for this character in particular, you're going to see stuff kind of like wiggling and wobbling around on his backpack. And so the next one here is the desert gear, and I really do like the look of this here on the male character. And this brings up the fact that we kind of have to rethink character armor, because
That
we're
looks
all used to
interesting
wearing
enough.
padded armor, leather armor, military armor, steel armor, and I think what they're transitioning to is our outfits. And so instead of just wearing flat out armor, sure, there will be armor, but there will also just be like regular outfits. So maybe if you're not doing battle, you take your armor off and you put on like your mining gear or your desert gear, or, you know, potentially there's going to be snow gear. And now to the very, very spicy stuff, the female model. This is our first look at the female character, and it's very exciting. I'll put it that way. They're definitely going with like a Tomb Raider approach here, heavily inspired by Tomb Raider. I mean, it's almost like
Calm down, Chief. Calm down.
Anyway, it looks very good on the eyes. Definitely not post-apocalyptic, realistic kind of, you know, it's definitely going to break the immersion a little bit. Okay, so all those changes are coming in Alpha 22. We're going to move on to another Alpha 22 Plus segment, and that is Bandits. Now, if I had to make a prediction, I would say Bandits will be Alpha 23, or if there's no Alpha 23, then Gold. I was just starting you off here.
Yeah, they're probably not adding bandits until it's gold, honestly. I can't see them doing it. I can't see them making that happen in any reasonable time frame.
Here with some of the images that they previously released of Bandits. This was a long time ago, so I don't know if these are still in or they're out, or if this is one faction of Bandits and what they showed us in the stream is another faction of Bandits, because they have talked about there being at least two factions of Bandits, probably one for the White River faction and maybe another one for like the Duke's faction. Basically, it's the Duke versus Noah is the storyline that they're going for, so I think there will be Bandits for both sides. And what they've said is that you'll choose a side, basically. So on one playthrough, you could choose Noah's side, and that will kind of influence your quest and your interactions with people, and then on your next playthrough you can do the other side, but you can't do both at the same time. So it'll be like Skyrim in the sense that you gotta kind of pick a side. Anyway, that's way off in the distance. Here is a look at the new Bandits, and so the first image we get here is
So you're gonna have to align with one side or the other, it seems. That's interesting. I don't know enough about either one to even make a choice, but it seems like that's where the game is heading, to get you to know a lot more about the other zombies. Well, we'll see.
is Bandit female, and you can just tell that there's a big difference between this Bandit and the Bandits we just saw a second ago. There's just a completely different feel to it. It's more tribal, it's more gritty. And then the really cool one here, this is the Overlord, they're calling him, and they said that this is a tier 3 Bandit. So previously, just like we saw in the first 3 images, there's like a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. Now in the game files, there's reference to Melee Bandit, Ranged Bandit, and Boss Bandit, and so that's probably your 1, 2, 3 right there. I'm not sure if that's what they're sticking with, but this is basically your Alpha Bandit right here for this faction. So that's all the stuff that they gave us for Alpha 22 or 22-ish, I guess you could say. Now I'm just going kind of run you through some slides here of some of the new art that will be coming in. Basically just some screenshots of some low-res, high-res, high poly, low poly. Sorry, I'm not really a graphics artist. I can't tell you what all this stuff means. But anyway, there's going to be new bushes, new couches, basically new everything. They did a pass. They couldn't do it internally, so they had to hire this out to a studio called Decagon Studios. And over the past several months on Twitter, they've been releasing some of these images, and then you could just go on like Decagon's website and look these up anyway. There's new alcohol boxes, but the alcohol is not drinkable. It's just a world object of decoration. New targets. There's these like military badges and ribbons and stuff that are going to be in Trader Hugh's compound, along with some like images and blueprints of weapons. There's also going to be some new flags, which I'm actually...
I like all the new decorations and stuff that they're getting too, that you can just kind of randomly put on the walls to make the world feel more lived in. That's the big thing for me. The new POI houses and stuff actually played a big role in adding a bit more depth into the game and making it seem like people actually inhabited this place. Because the houses, the way that they're laid out, a lot of the major POI houses, like it's visual storytelling. Like you can pretty much come to a conclusion as to what happened there based on your, anecdotal experiences. Looks good though.
Kind of excited about, because these actually look really cool. These are inspired by like the Marine Corps flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag, and the POW-MIA or the POW-MIA flag. Just a bunch of cool decorations to help bring some life into the world, help cover up some of the blank spots on the walls, and help just make the world feel more lived in and more immersive. There's also a picture of
God damn it,
icons that will be introduced.
I just said
on
that.
Discord about this. That would be really cool if they actually sold these blueprints as merch. Like I could totally see myself hanging one of these up on my wall somewhere. And last little bit of art here. So we looked at some of the...
Oh yeah, hell yeah. If they made that like a poster or something, I would definitely hang that up on my wall. That looks cool as hell.
Hanging one of these up on my wall somewhere. And last little bit of art here. So we looked at some of the blueprints for the weapons. These are the actual weapons that they released on Twitter some months ago. And so this is what I do expect to see in the game. It's definitely, if you like that sort of clean military tactical look, this is definitely going to rub you the wrong way like it does me. But they're going for that rustic, post-apocalyptic kind of scavenging kind of feel to everything. And so this is what we're going to be left with. Okay, last little bit here. This is stuff for like Alpha 22 and beyond and gold. So basically, do not expect this anytime soon. Possibly this stuff will be completely different. It might not be there at all, but they did tease some of this stuff at the very end of the stream. The first thing is a UI overhaul. Now, when I conducted my interview with Rick and Joel, they actually made it sound like this was going to be coming to Alpha 21. So maybe we will see this a little bit sooner than gold. But anyway, it's a much cleaner looking UI. It's not dramatically different in my opinion. It's like many mods that we see currently for 7 days. They also gave us some concept art for new vehicles. There's the mini bike on
the inventory in a lot of these mods is probably one of the only things that got me very close to wanting to download mods. Is just to have more inventory slots.
right side with a toilet for a seat, and on the left side a new 4x4, which I'm really liking the looks of. And so we spoke earlier about the story between the Duke of Navezgane, who runs the Duke's Casino, and Noah, who we don't really know much about Noah. And so here are their locations. Now, it's unclear whether this is more or less a trader compound, or if this is some sort of like an end game questable location.
Holy cow, look at this place. Look at this casino, guys. Oh my god. That would be, oh my god, I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
The thing I do want to call your attention to is that both of these compounds do have helipads, just like the trader compounds. Now, what these helipads do is up for debate. Originally, I thought that these would be actual helipads and that they will be introducing a helicopter into the game. But then there were some very observant people, like my friend Wayward Echo, who noticed that there is a powered radio, which is adjacent to all of the trader helipads. And so it could be that there is some sort of a fast travel mechanic, which Rick himself said there's some secret hidden function that will be coming to Alpha 22 with regard to the helipad. And that'll just about do it. I will leave you with some more art that will be going into Alpha 21, and this is basically just some notes for the chemistry station, I think it was. There's some sticky notes that are all handwritten that have notes and little things. It's just a bunch of random stuff, basically. And there's also going to be like this whiteboard that has a whole bunch of stuff written on it with callbacks to old things like sexual Tyrannosaurus, which will be removed. More on that in the first live stream recap. Make sure you've watched that. But anyway, I personally am very excited for this alpha. There was a lot that was promised that has been pushed back, but it's looking like it's going to be worth the wait. I'm fine with waiting. I'm patient. But anyway, my friends, that is it for this live stream. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and stay tuned next Thursday morning for another live stream.
Well, they're taking applications for streamer weekend for Alpha 21, which means we're pretty damn close, so that should be exciting. I think I had another video I want to watch, but I need to eat something because I haven't eaten and I'm very hungry. So we'll probably wrap it up right here for now. We either watch some more videos later on today or I'll play some Dying Light. Not Dying Light, Dead Island. Oh god, I'm never gonna get that right on the first try. It's just second nature to say Dying Light. Dying Light. I can't even say that right now. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I do enjoy doing videos like this, conversation pieces, just talking about videos and stuff that I plan on watching anyway. If it was entertaining, then leave a like and all that good stuff. But if you didn't like it, you know what to do. The comments exist. So, thanks for hanging out. Can others jump into Dead Island? What do you mean? What do you mean, can others jump into Dead Island? What are you trying to communicate to me, sir? What is this question? I do not understand. Is Dead Island co-op? Is that what you're asking? It's multiplayer. You can play up to 4-player co-op, I believe, in Dead Island. Pretty sure. If you have a really good, well, you have friends, you can play. Multiplayer. Me and Monkey were playing co-op. I don't know if the player count is 3 or 4 though. I didn't confirm it, so I ain't got that many friends. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. I'm gonna go eat because I'm starving.